ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear.
Erik Nagel.
Good evening, everybody. It is Erik Nagel, program, and myself. 866-969-1969 is the phone number. Joining me always is my co-host, Matt O.G.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm lovely, thank you.
And Giggles is over there somewhere behind one of those monitors.
Hello, I don't know why I'm waving because no one can see me in Radioland.
I can see you, and I appreciate your waving.
Thank you.
We have a big show today. A little later in the program, we're going to be talking to Michael McKean and Jonathan Banks from Better Call Saul on AMC. You can keep the bed going a little bit there, Paul. I'm not done yet. There you go. So we'll talk to them a little bit later in the program here. Has everybody here seen Better Call Saul?
I know. I have still not seen Better Call Saul.
It's so good.
We're
so
three
good.
episodes in, Matt.
I know, but I haven't watched Breaking Bad, and I know I don't have to watch Breaking Bad to watch
It helps
Better Call
to watch
Saul,
Breaking Bad because you're not going to get a lot of the surprises.
And it's not because I don't want to. It's just I just haven't done it. I just haven't pulled the trigger.
What are you waiting for?
I watch too much other stuff on TV. I have to find maybe over the summer break. I'll
take
binge
all that
watch it over the
stuff
summer.
and push it off to the side, and then hop on Netflix and watch Breaking Bad.
I have to watch Hate Gotham every week.
I gave up. I officially gave up on Gotham. I'm done. Gotham is done.
No, I'm still hate watching it, so you're better than me.
So we'll have those interviews in a little bit. And joining us right now for this portion of the show, our old friends from NECA Toys.
Ooh, old
Randy
friends.
and Chris are here. How are you guys?
What's going on?
Good.
New York Toy Fair was last weekend. That, for those of you who don't know, it's pretty much an exhibition.
It's a trade show.
Yeah,
really.
where you can go and check out all the cool stuff if they allow you to get in. And it's not really like a con where you can go and purchase a lot of things.
No.
It's more for the people to show their wares and what's coming up in the year, and also talk with future distributors and retailers and what have you.
Correct.
And NECA had a really impressive booth, I was told.
Always.
But outdid themselves this year at Toy Fair, right next to your, I guess your sister company, Kid Robot. Are we talking about them now?
Yeah, we can talk about them now.
Okay.
Yep, they were set up.
You were a little iffy last time. You weren't sure how this was all going to work
I don't know
out.
if all the ink was dry on the paper, but yeah, everything's good now. So they're exhibiting with us, one whole big happy family.
Right.
Yeah, it was a nice booth. I saw Frank Kozik was hanging around at least on Saturday, so he was there, and I met the new rep guy whose name is eluding me right now. But he was a lot of good stuff on both sides of the booth.
All right, we're going to get into that and some of the new products that the NECA has that we'll obviously talk about because we're all excited about. Also want to point out that I still have some stuff to give away. The Evolve game is taking the world by storm. And thanks to 2K Games and Turtle Rock Studios, I have some Xbox, PS4, and PC versions.
Nice.
If you play that, we have those to give away tonight, so if you want one of those, feel free to call in, and we'll see what we can do for you. But do we want to jump into the toys, or do you want to do a speed round on some news that happened this week?
It's up to you. We could do a little of both.
All right. Aquaman photo, Jason Momoa.
What about it?
Anybody care?
He doesn't look like Aquaman.
Looks
but
like Khal Drogo.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
It's what if Khal Drogo and Sweeney Todd had an illegitimate love child
with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, look, at this point, I kind of don't care, which is maybe kind of sad, but everything just seems kind of whitewashed. I don't know if that's on purpose, though, because the more I looked at the photo, like, you could see there's some gold in the one part of the armband. I don't care. I think it's the biggest problem for me.
It's funny that you said Roman Reigns because I was saying that to Matt on the way in. Now that I'm thinking about it, remember, are you a long-time wrestling fan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You remember when Undertaker met Undertaker?
Unfortunately,
Purple gloves versus gray gloves? Mm-hmm. What if we had Roman Reigns versus Jason Momoa, and it's like Roman Reigns versus Roman Reigns? What's going on here? No? Okay. Back to the drawing board. So, Aquaman, I guess everyone... now, I asked you about it says Unite the Seven, and I was like, what exactly does that mean?
Well,
and I'm thinking Seven Seas, but you also told me that the original Justice League was 7 people.
The original Justice League was 7 members. It was Aquaman, Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, and... Am I missing someone? Was that 7? I think that was 7. So this, for the movie, it looks like they're removing Martian Manhunter. Cyborg has been put in there. And you'll still have 7 characters, Aquaman being the 7th.
But they're all going to appear in the Batman vs Superman movie?
Well, as far as we know, everybody but Hal Jordan has been cast. So unless he's going to make some sort of cameo, I think almost everybody is going to have at least a small cameo.
Now, what do you think the chances are as a goof that Ryan Reynolds shows up as Green Lantern?
Not anymore.
No?
Not with Deadpool happening.
No.
I think that's kind of done.
Just a thought.
Nah.
No.
No one wants to see that.
He also
Not even Ryan Reynolds.
Speaking of Ryan
wants
Reynolds, they put out a photo of the mask.
They did
for Deadpool.
They did,
and I guess it's in was it sepia tones?
Yes, he posted it in sepia tones. He said that though specifically. My guess is that maybe they didn't want him to show it in its full color because it's kind of distorted a little bit with the filter.
I know you're a big Captain America fan. Deadpool interest you at all, Chris?
I mean, that teaser trailer they posted looked awesome.
Looks great, right?
I mean, that's
Are
like
you a
the
fan of the
Deadpool
character though?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because when I saw that mask, I talked to Matt. I go, "Is this like?" Remember when in the first Spider-Man movie where he made his own costume before he got the red and blue? I'm like, is Deadpool making his own stuff? Like, and then he's like, no, it's in that sepia tone, so they don't want to show the color scheme and everything else. But
I think that was more of a behind the scenes kind of a thing.
Right.
I don't think that's really him constructing the Deadpool costume.
No.
So.
Yeah, I think that's a behind-the-scenes shot, and I think he put the filter on it. They might have told him he had to put the filter on it. That might have been part of it.
Although it would be funny to see a montage of Deadpool drawing all these ridiculous costumes for him to try on.
I was telling Matt, I'm like, that's something that struck me kind of odd, but I found kind of interesting the fact that before they get the costume that they're known for, and everyone in the movie theater is all excited because you see the official costume, them doing their own makeshift garbage costumes always intrigued me.
I don't recall Deadpool's full origin story, but I think he gets the costume from the Weapon X program. I think. I don't recall.
In the first movie, he had sweatpants, and that was about it.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
Anything's an improvement in this one.
Right.
Batman versus Superman, all 7 are supposed to make a cameo at some point.
We think, yep.
And then that leads to Justice League, which is when? Like 5-6 years from now?
2018. I don't know, because there's solo movies in there too. Wonder Woman has a solo movie. Aquaman has a solo movie. Green Lantern has a solo movie. I think Cyborg has a solo movie. I think Justice League is kind of mushed in there somewhere in between. I'm not quite sure.
Changing gears a little bit, Giddles, you were telling me about a TV show that I really needed to watch. I didn't have a chance to do it yet, but it's on Netflix. What's it called?
It's called Danger 5.
What's it about? It's
an Australian comedy show. It's kind of like live-action Archer meets live-action C-Lab. It's really over the top. Like 60s
That's
style.
just a weird combo.
Every episode they're trying to kill Hitler, and every episode they don't, and he jumps out a window and escapes. It's very ridiculous. Just really over the top.
What's it called again?
It's called Danger 5.
Danger 5. Look for this.
Highly recommend it.
Speaking of Hitler, have you watched any more Man-Seeking Woman yet?
I have not, because I found Danger 5 and I got obsessed with that. And it was just like too much Hitler in 1 week for me. I'm Jewish. I was just like, I can't do this. So I was just like...
You have to watch Man-Seeking Woman. It's still one of the most ridiculous, amazing things I've ever seen.
I'm going to catch up on that next.
I just saw the episode with the penis monster.
Yes! Yeah. Tanaka.
Yeah. So I can't even describe the episode. You just have to go and watch it on FXX On Demand or FX On Demand.
FXX.
Go find it. It's out there.
The Simpsons Network.
I bring this up because Giddles has been on a roll as far as recommending things to me, and I can't get to them right away, but when I do get to them, I go, oh my God, this is amazing. You did it with Black Mirror. The other thing I want to tell you that I caught up on was the Sylvester Stallone podcast.
Oh my God, how awesome is the Sylvester Stallone podcast?
This podcast is amazing. It's hosted by Paul Scheer. You know him from The League.
Right.
And each week he's talking about how Sylvester Stallone's coming on the podcast, and the episodes are maybe 5 to 8 minutes at most.
Okay.
And then
he had like this intern who worked on Expendables who was like, I can get you Stallone. So it's just...
So he decided to build a whole network and a podcast and everything to try to get Stallone's coming on there. Right. And this thing is about 28 episodes, and Stallone never shows up. Spoiler. But just the breakdown of a human being as each episode goes on and on is amazing, because he's like, oh no, he'll be here next week, and after the first couple episodes he's starting to realize this may not happen.
Right.
So he starts talking to people who can do Stallone impressions, or maybe knew Stallone at one point, and like he's really grasping at straws.
He ends up at like a homeless shelter, like asking like a hobo who his
wife
favorite
kicks him out of the
celebrity
house.
is. Yeah, it's great.
And then he joins a cult, and like it just really gets all fucked up, and then it comes full circle at the end.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, but it's 28 episode podcast. Go out and check it out. Paul Scheer's the Sylvester Stallone podcast.
It's great.
Definitely worth watching. And what's the other one that I just
listening to?
The what?
It's definitely worth listening to.
What's the other one that you were telling me about?
Podcast?
No. Oh, how does this get made?
How did this get made? Yeah, that's the other Paul Scheer podcast.
Do you know this one, Chris?
Yeah, that one's been around for a while.
Right.
Yeah, that one's great.
This was another one that Gills was telling me about, and they just dissect movies. It's just mostly movies, right?
It's usually really bad movies that are very popular, and they just kind of be like, how the fuck did this movie get made? Like, they point out all the plot holes, they point out all the inconsistencies, like what the directors were thinking, like the budgets. It's
pretty much
really funny.
All right, I'll check it out.
It's pretty much you and your friends watching a shitty movie. And
it's MS3K, sort of?
Right. As you can see on the monitor here, for some reason we have Joe Piscopo in Dead Heat. So maybe this is one of the movies that they talk about as
I was
well.
kind of hoping, I'm not going to lie. I thought we were going to be talking about Dead Heat all day today, Eric.
And so we
You're
have
the only one.
Only one. And I guess that's it. Let's move on to the toys. We'll get to the rest of this stuff next week here.
That's the important stuff.
NECA Toys. It's NECAonline.com to check out the stuff, and NECA_toys on Twitter to check out the latest updates of what they've been doing here. So let's talk Toy Fair here. I didn't get a chance to go. Matt went.
I did.
And of course, the NECA guys were there.
Of course.
Where do you want to start with this?
Well, I mean, I know you guys picked up some new licenses. I didn't see one of them, though, on display in the booth. I did not see... I'm jumping right into Home Alone. Sure. I did not see Home Alone. I mean, I sort of saw something in the back room when I was back there with the guys from Kid Robot, but I don't think anything was actually out on display in the booth itself, right?
Right, yeah, it's going to be a Christmas program, so we're just kind of announcing that we have it, and we showed a couple things to, like, key buyers or looky-loos like yourself back there.
Sorry.
But, yeah, we'll roll out, like, September, October, so we've got a whole bunch of it done, and we're keeping it a little close to the vest, but I can show you more.
That's a cool license, and I think it's a good follow-up to Christmas Story as far as, like, holiday-themed licenses go.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the thought process is we've been running Christmas Story for, like, 10 years straight.
Yeah.
And it's been an evergreen, so we're looking for another holiday, evergreen, and this year's 25 years for Home Alone, and we found that, the late 20s, early 30s kids who grew up with it, like, are nuts about it still. They have all this nostalgia for it. And then anyone that we work with who has kids, their kids all love it. 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, they all watch it and love the movie. So it's like timeless.
It's kind of getting that cult factor that Christmas Story has. I mean, Christmas time comes around and it's on every day or a couple times a day.
24 hours of Christmas Story.
Yeah, so that's a great license to pick up. Some other cool things that I really saw, the Penguin piece is awesome.
Thank you.
He's fantastic. And is that the scale? He was a quarter scale piece?
Yeah, he's like a little over 15 inches tall, and the top hat and like the Victorian tailored coat that you can take off, and he's wearing his pajamas and everything underneath. And
if you guys haven't seen that one, there are pictures online.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're probably on your website too, right?
Yeah, they're all over,
What else are you guys excited about? I mean,
what was the big draw? Like, what was everybody coming to your booth this year to see?
I'd say the biggest buzz thing is the Halo helmet that we're doing. It's actually a functional motorcycle helmet, too. It's DOT certified and all that, but it's Master Chief's helmet, but you can take it out on the road. It's UV coated, scratch resistant, all padded out, chin strap, all that. That was even like a trending topic on Facebook. What'd you say, like Wednesday or something?
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw that on Facebook trending.
Yeah, that's our helmet, and that's crazy. I've been working on that thing for a year. I make action figures normally. I've never made a helmet before, so
but you guys also
a learning curve.
You guys also do the they're not like one-offs, but you do the little side projects where you do stuff that are not just action figures. And I said this last time, I love the Jason hockey masks that you guys put out, and the Freddy glove looks amazing as well, and it's very well done, a lot of detail to it. So it's not just your typical action figures for a video game or a movie or something like that. You'll take that line and then go, oh, let's go even further. Let's give them the axe from this guy, or the chainsaw from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and all that. So they really, everything that they put out is very well done. I can't wait to see the actual helmet when it's in stores.
Sweet.
Is it going to be in stores, or is it online only?
No, it will be in some stores. I'm not sure. We talked to or met with some cycle shops as a result of Toy Fair, but we're not really going after the motorcycle crowd. It's more of still the geek crowd. But a thing like Think Geek will probably carry it, and like the usual Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earths and those kind of Amazon, those kind of guys will have it.
Nice.
Toys R Us isn't going to have it because it's more adult. It's probably about a $500 retail. But it'll be in some brick and mortar.
That's cool. What about the Power Loader? I know got a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. A, it's an awesome piece, and I think Alien collectors have probably wanted it forever. And B, because it'll fit most figures in that scale, right?
Yeah, it fits almost everything in 6-inch or 7-inch scale. And we have Sigourney Weaver, which was a whole nother, year plus of pursuit and convincing, because she usually doesn't allow her likeness to be.
I was going to say it's a likeness thing, right?
Right, yeah, but we were able to do a deal with her last year, and we now have figures from the 79 Ridley Scott film, and now.
Do you have to go through the production company that has the rights to the movie and then through her, or can you go right to her and get it?
If they don't have, if the production company like a Fox or Warner Brothers doesn't have talent likeness for a particular project, we go to them and say, if we would like to approach them separately. Do you have a problem with that, or do you want us to go through you? We always ask permission, almost. In the case of Fox, we had already done this with Arnold for Predator and a couple other things. So they said, they said good luck. In the past, many people have tried, and the answer is
no,
always no, but try. And
Now, if you get that, like you got Sigourney here, do you then have to cut the production company into the deal?
They're still getting a royalty regardless. What happens sometimes, and this is like inside toy information, is we of course have to pay the celebrity because we now not only are getting them consent to use of their likeness, but they want a royalty too. Depending on how much we have to pay them, sometimes we're able to go back to the production company and say, hey, we're able to do a deal with Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sigourney Weaver, but we got to pay them. Will you accept a reduction in the royalty for the projects that we're paying them on? So like an Alien or a Predator, we're still paying a full royalty, but if we're doing Ripley or Arnold as Dutch, we're paying out twice. Sometimes they'll cut us a little break because they want the product to get out there and they know it's going to see a spike in sales. Like we didn't get Arnold until our 8th series of Predator figures. That was pretty far along and consistently selling well, but of course once we got Arnold, you saw a huge spike in sales because everyone wanted Dutch. They collected the line for 7 series, and now all of a sudden Dutch was there.
So when you get these celebrity deals going, and like Sigourney here, Arnold, and what have you, do you have to also include? Do they ask for some kind of exclusive for the production company to distribute, like you did with Batman and the Blu-ray?
No, there isn't usually an arrangement like that. They kind of leave it up to us to.
They let you do what you know best.
Exactly, yeah. And
just give us a check and don't fuck it up.
Pretty much. And the talent, like with Sigourney, it was a long process, but all along she always asked, or her people asked the right questions where I felt like I wasn't just wasting my time. She would ask, like, well, who else is a part of this? What other actors? And as you're working on them, let me see those as well. So it was basically making her feel comfortable. So if we were doing Tom Skerritt or Lance Henriksen or someone else from the franchise saying, hey, this is what they look like, and yes, they approve there. So she wanted to know she was in good company and everyone was being handled well. And just making her feel comfortable because something she's not used to. And, now we got 3 figures and she's been awesome about approvals, and we have her in a power loader, and we have the Queen, and we have Bishop torn in half, and there's eggs and face huggers. You can basically recreate the whole thing. We had a sick diorama at Toy Fair.
Yeah, and it was a great display, and I think you probably have to be at least somewhat excited about the prospect of a new movie now on the horizon.
That news this week is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's huge.
Such good fortune for us because it's the best thing in 30 years for Alien, because the Cameron movie's brilliant. That's 86.
Right.
I like David Fincher. I didn't like his Alien 3. I loathe Resurrection, and both AVP movies are garbage.
Yeah.
So to have someone good and capable now doing it and possibly bringing Sigourney back or Michael Biehn, if I'm just speculating from his concept art. It's just very encouraging. And from his concept art, they may discount those other sequels, and it might be a direct sequel to Cameron's masterpiece.
I heard that it might be like going right on, continuing from Aliens and pretending that nothing else happened after Aliens, which they should do.
Yeah, music to my ears.
Hands down.
The penal colony and the clones and just like dismissing Hicks. Like, it was garbage.
It was
killing Hicks off screen.
Yeah.
So if this new movie comes to fruition, are you going to jump right in to get the movie line?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it was said, which was Tuesday or Wednesday night, that Neil, confirmed, like, hey, we are doing this movie, I had an email to Fox Consumer Products to immediately, like, first, we're doing Alien and Predator through 2017, but new films aren't automatically included, but we have basically first dibs. So it's like, hey, no matter what's going on with this movie, no matter where it's being filmed, I want to be on set, I want to be involved from the ground floor. Up,
so here's my request: if this happens and you get the movie line, did you see Sigourney on the Tonight Show this week?
I did not.
When she was talking about the Aliens movie. Okay. Apparently, she was talking to comedian Louis C.K., and he wants to be in this movie. He said if these rumors are true, and she's a huge comedy fan, so she was freaking out. She was telling a story, freaking out about getting a photo with Will Ferrell and with Louis C.K., and they're talking about the movie, and he says, I want to be in this movie, but I want to die in the most brutally awful way possible. And she's looking at him like, what? And he goes, I just want to have the most horrific death that ever happened in the Aliens movies. And she goes, I think we can make that happen. So if that happens, we have a connection to Louis C.K. Could you make a Louis C.K. figure?
Sure, even if it's just one.
Even if it's just one, we want, the character at the beginning of the movie, and then, in the process of being ripped apart.
Absolutely. I will do it.
I think he'd say yes to that, because that's kind of cool.
He'd probably
Very
say
cool.
yes to it.
Garrison in Wisconsin wants to talk to the NECA guys. Garrison,
Good evening, gentlemen.
how are you,
I got
sir?
a couple points to make. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I got a couple points to make, but I'm going to make it really quick.
Okay.
So, number one, has anybody ever had any action figures or anything like that for, like, The Abyss? Or
No.
is there any thought of any of that coming back in the future? I just love that. No matter how many times I watch it, if it's on, I just stay watching it.
Yeah, me too. It was on HBO not that long ago, November or December, and every time I'd catch it, I'd get sucked in. I mean, again, it was...
Yeah, it's just sci-fi addictive.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron is, I'm not such an Avatar guy, but he was a genius up until that point. No, I mean, he's still a genius. He just...
Was that his Michael Bay moment?
So it's not that
I was
bad.
going to say, I would have not let it go that far.
Yeah, it's never been done. I don't know. I think it might be a tougher sell just because there's not like that action component to it. You know what I mean? It's certainly suspenseful
Yeah.
and cool, but it's kind of like that ethereal.
It just had a real beautiful storyline to it, that just it was a more peaceful, not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You don't
absolutely.
really see a peaceful alien movie anymore.
And the toy would be really easy because it would be a piece of like a blue plastic chunk with a face coming right out of it. And
Yeah, it's extruded plastic. My main question is my son-in-law is and my daughter both are really into not like MMORPG kind of stuff, but more like Dungeons and Dragons, but not Dungeons and Dragons stuff. They're into comics, they're into video games and stuff like that. But I'm not really. His birthday's coming up, and I'd like to get him something significant because they just got married. They just gave me my first grandson, which they named Logan after Wolverine.
okay. So you're looking for a
Logan's
gift
run.
suggestion? Is that what? Is this your wedding
Yeah.
gift?
Well, it's not my wedding gift. I'm not that much of a tool, but
All right. So I think he's looking for suggestions. Maybe
it's
something
his
from
first
NECA.
birthday. It's his first birthday with the family as a married couple. Kind of something a little bit more significant than here's
Okay.
your 50. Good luck. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's see what the guys have here. What do you have that NECA makes that would be a good gift suggestion for this gentleman?
Oh, boy. Just because you said Dungeons and Dragon MMO, I'm thinking some of the stuff we did with Blizzard. Like we did this cool Diablo sword from the video game, and it lights up as like a pulsating LED light, and it's pretty cool. I don't know. It's tough. The description was the setup was a little vague, so I'm having trouble.
He was all
Drawing a
over the
blank.
place. He was MMRs and comics.
he
It's
doesn't-
like
He really
He
likes
doesn't do, like,
things.
LARPing or anything like that, but he plays, like a group. He has like a group that he goes to in Madison where he.
He's a lost cause, my friend.
Yeah. Well, like
get him some PVC pipe and duct tape and tell him to have a party.
They named my grandson Logan after Wolverine, so yeah.
Okay. Well, go to NECAonline.com and shop around there. I'm sure that you might find something that will be appropriate for a wedding gift there.
That loot crate that you advertise, would that be something that would be?
It might be.
Yeah, do Loot Crate. LootCrate.com/OP, and then use the promo code OP, and you'll save some money on your subscription there, all right?
All right, cool beans. Oh, hey, and do you think maybe he could get Frank Stallone on that podcast?
That's a question for Mr. Stallone.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Anyway, what else? We got to move along here. What else was?
Well, I mean,
Up at Toy Fair here.
what other big things that was there anything else exciting that you guys are really excited? I mean, I'm sure you're excited about everything, but
Chris Reeve Superman. I'm pretty excited about.
that was awesome too.
Yeah, because to me that's still Superman. I wasn't on board with Man of Steel. Or the one before that. But,
Superman Returns, right?
Yeah, and that being said, 3 and 4 with Reeve are terrible too, but 1 and 2 are
But 1 and
not.
2
so
are fantastic.
He's still Superman. You just look at that guy; he was perfect. So we were able to do that, which was cool because we did like Adam West Batman, Keaton Batman. We hadn't done the iconic Superman yet, so we worked with Warner Brothers and the Reeve Foundation, and they were great to work with. It's cool that we can get that out there. It'll be out in May.
Do any of the proceeds go to the Reeve Foundation?
Yeah, and actually part of the license agreement is we make a nice charitable donation to them as well, which
That's
is
great.
Which is fine. It's a great cause, and he was a great actor and a great human being. So it's cool to be a part of that. And there'll be something on the packaging related to the foundation as well.
That's awesome.
Very cool. I'm trying to think of the other stuff that I saw that really jumped out at me. The Pacific Rim, the little bitty.
Oh, the little like chibis, the super deforms. Yeah.
Were those new? I hadn't seen them. I don't think
Those are brand new, and those
Okay.
are from the film, which is what makes them even cooler. So in the opening parts of the movie, basically the prologue, when they talk about how they came from the breach and we fought them and we built these seats, they show like a little kid playing with like Pacific Rim toys, and he puts them on a white bookcase. Those are those toys. So they're actually
nice.
like,
All right.
they're almost like little mini prop replicas of toys that were in the film. So it took me a while to track down who made them for the movie, and we've made reproductions of them, and they're going to be sold as a set of 5 for San Diego Comic-Con this summer.
Oh, nice. I was concerned that they were going to be like blind boxed or something.
No.
Because
Yeah, I don't like the blind box thing.
No, neither
Certainly
do I.
that's a kid robot thing, and
Yeah.
it's got its audience. I want to know what I'm buying. Like,
Yeah.
I've opened something up, it's not what I want, I'm going to be pissed off.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat, but it doesn't stop me from buying the Kid Robot and the Titan Vinyls one as well. Matt in Michigan wants to talk to you about Alien vs. Predator.
Sure.
Matt.
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm actually, this is my first time listening to your show, and I'm really enjoying it.
Thanks, man.
I collected the Alien vs. Predator comic books, and I just want to know if you guys are going to kind of like draw from any of that type of stuff, like geez,
He's panicking.
like back when. I'm sorry.
No, I know what you're talking about. Like the old Dark Horse stuff. Like the stuff that the movies should have done.
Yeah, because I really liked, like when they used to go to the alien planets and they had all these different types of trophies and stuff. It would just be kind of cool to see another universe, like a line like that.
Yeah, we will be touching on it. I mean, we haven't done the two combined yet. We've done Aliens Genocide, which was from an old Dark Horse comic. I don't know if you ever read that. We've done that. And we did an Ahab Predator, which was from a Dark Horse comic this past year. And we've done Bad Blood, which was a really cool Predator miniseries that took place in the Jersey Pine Barrens in the early 90s.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you remember the Aliens Platinum Edition that came out?
Absolutely. Yep.
Are you guys going to be doing anything like that kind of ties into the newer movies that they're putting out?
I think we will. It's all a matter of time. We only produce let's say 10 to 12 different figures a year, and the films are always the primary focus, and then we look to expanded universe like comics and video games to supplement the line or to do for retail or convention exclusives because it's more of a finite audience. So we definitely will be touching on it, but I say it's like, here and there. It's not the focus of the line, which is always the movies. We have a really cool Predator that we showed at Toy Fair as well, which is 25th anniversary Dark Horse Predator, and it basically painted and sculpted to look exactly like he did on the cover of the very first Predator comic from 1989. So if you haven't seen that,
the Dark Horse Presents that one.
Yeah, when he's on the roof and he's holding that ceremonial staff. It came out the summer of '89. It has Dutch's brother in it. Yeah, that one, and the figure will come with a reprint of that comic, which is cool because I'm old. I had that comic when it came out. There's a lot of kids buying. Yeah, there's a lot of kids buying our toys that weren't even a glimmer in Papa's eye in '89 that now can discover the comics and how cool some of those stories were from the.
Yeah, I've been actually having my son read them. He's 7 years old. The language is a little harsh, but the artwork is.
Hey, look, he's got to learn somewhere.
Hey, that's cool, man. First, having kids read is awesome, and having them read Predator comics. I mean, I'm
but when they're waking up in the middle of the night screaming isn't awesome.
Well, night terrors are his problem, not ours.
Also, Eric.
Yes.
Is there any way that I can score one of those Xbox games?
Well, I was just going to ask you that, you greedy Gus.
Thank you.
You want a copy of Evolve for Xbox One, right?
Yes, please.
All right, I will give you that. Thanks to our friends at 2K Games and Turtle Rock Studios. I'm going to put you on hold. Matt in Michigan, line 4, get his information. Simpsons line.
Yep.
So I saw what you guys are putting out for the next
Series
for the
5.
next wave here. And as always, I am pitching a tent as I talk to you here. When is this going to be available? And when can I just give you my money?
Series 4 just hit. I think Series 5 is due May. Is I think May. It's usually about.
Chris has no idea.
Yeah, that's all Jimmy.
Yeah, it's like usually 3 months in between, but this may be the last series, unfortunately.
Why?
Well, the
Great,
whole.
now we're never coming back here.
I brought you a Godzilla, though.
Yes.
The whole premise of the line was built on 25 greatest guest stars, and this hits our 25. And in total, we've done almost 50 figures because, like, Aerosmith counts as one, even though there's 5, and so on and so forth.
And you've done variants of the regular line of
right,
Simpsons
like
characters.
the core characters and stuff.
The glow-in-the-dark
that.
Mr. Burns is still one of the best pieces.
Yeah, that's actually the most popular non-celebrity in the line. And so far, Weird Al, which is in the current series, is like sold out everywhere. It's insane how popular Weird Al has been. Some you expect, like Bret Hart, we knew was going to be huge, but Weird Al is like off the charts, sold out.
Yeah, you had Bret
everywhere.
Hart at New York Comic Con
Right.
one of the days to sign the figures there.
Right.
Every time I kept trying to walk over there, the line was just too big, wrapping around like in coils around the little island that you had built there. So I was just like, that just isn't going to happen today. I'll just do it another time. Who's in Wave 5?
Well, Lenny Kravitz, Adam West,
That's exciting.
Stan Lee,
Okay.
It's a great lineup.
Tom Petty, and then Matt Groening himself, which is a really nice way to go out if it is the end of the lineup.
I'm happy with that. I have the Kid Robot 6-inch Matt Groening that they put out for the 500th episode special, and now to get that one is even better.
Yeah, it's cool. It's been a great line. We definitely would like to continue, and there were other things we wanted to do beyond the personalities. We wanted to do characters, Mulder and Scully,
Right.
and Alien and Predator, and all those Dr. Zaius Simpsonized. But
When you get these licenses, is it that you have to come up with the ideas and pitch it to the people who have the license, or do you work out something and they have input as far as what you're going to put out in your line?
in this case, it's kind of both. So Fox came to us and said, we want a partner for The Simpsons' big anniversary and milestone and all that. So we looked at it and discussed internally, what should we do? Because there's been a ton of stuff done over 25 years. And
right.
The Playmates line was really good. They did like 300 something characters and covered everything. But the one thing we came back with was there isn't any really celebrities in the line. And sure, it's a lot of legwork to contact all these people and get their rights or get them to agree to do it. But that's the way to go. Because one, it'll get press, and two, it wasn't done. And then you'll get a huge range. I mean, we've got like James Brown and Britney Spears, Hugh Hefner, Penn
the
and
Hefner
Teller.
one was really good too, because it's not just wearing the robe. The robe actually comes off a little bit, and just the detail on it is really kind of makes it worth getting.
It's been fun, and our decision also was to make them in scale and in style to what Playmates did with the World of Springfield line. So if someone was already a collector of that line and had invested in it, we're not asking them to start over with something new and a different size, a different format. Like, it all fits together. So, like, for example, Playmates did a Deep Space Homer. I'm totally going the geek tangents here.
Why not?
But they did Deep Space Homer, him in the astronaut suit.
Does it come with a rod?
Does it come with chips floating around it?
Yes. But we just did Buzz Aldrin, which they couldn't do in their line. But now you have like the Buzz Aldrin that goes with Deep Space Homer. So it kind of just flushes the whole thing out. So if you're a collector, that's the kind of stuff that gives you, collector boner. Like, now you've got that whole thing. So in the case of that, it was like, that was our pitch. Let's do the 25 greatest guest stars of all time for 25 years. And then from there, it was working with Fox and Gracie, which is Groening's company, to come up with the list of who those celebrities would be. And then we start contacting them all.
Can you pitch concepts to them? I know you're doing the celebrity, the guest celebrities for the line, but to try to continue this relationship, can you pitch concepts to them, or do they come to you?
It's both. So far, they haven't come to us. I don't know if they're burnt out on merchandise just because there's been so much stuff. We have some ideas, some things we wanted to do as retail exclusives or for Comic-Con and stuff like that. And so far, they haven't really wanted to go off into any tangents.
Could you maybe pitch a line where, hold on a second, I'm going somewhere. Can we maybe pitch a line where they're doing all those made-up names, like characters that they do, like obviously Mr. Plowbow when he was dressed up like Guy Incognito and Lance Uppercut and Max Power, things like that?
Absolutely. I mean, we still have the license, so we can certainly pitch it to them and see what happens.
What if I just pay you to make them for me?
I could do that. I have a friend who's in a band who's like a humongous Simpsons fan, and I'm making one of just him to give him the next time he's through on tour. It's
I
like,
was going to say, he just lit up his eyes.
so we do stuff like that once in a while, but it keeps me on the guest list for my favorite heavy metal shows.
Nice. What about a giant powered escalator to nowhere toy that just keeps dropping toys everywhere?
Yeah, and they just fall off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a cool playset. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say I would be surprised if their interest was waning because FXX still consistently runs.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
it's still on like every day. And a lot of it. So I would think as long as the interest.
By the way, that's not a shot, I hope.
No,
Okay.
no, it's not a shot. But
because I get really pissed on Wednesdays and Saturdays when it's not on.
No, but my point is that if there's still so much interest in the show that they could still run it so consistently on a network, to me,
Dude, their marathons are very well thought out.
Maybe there's interest in merchandise surrounding it.
There definitely is on the part of Fox, who's the license holder, but ultimately
It's
Gracie. And
okay.
I'd be speculating. I don't know. I know there's lots of things I've brought to them already that I wanted to do.
Right.
That
They were not
have
interested
not
in.
been as interested as I was.
Right. Fair enough.
How interactive are you now, or will you be, with Kid Robot, or is it just staying a separate entity under the same umbrella?
It's basically a separate entity, and as you mentioned before, Frank is kind of running the show over there, but we spoke at Toy Fair in between all of our meetings, and we're talking about some synergy, sharing some licenses, letting them play with some of the stuff we have, like maybe some Kid Robot Planet of the Apes, for example, and some
that's kind of cool.
Some stuff like that. So since we all are under the same umbrella now, we can start to play a little bit with some stuff. And there was someone who I met with at Toy Fair that has a really cool toy property from 30 years ago, and nothing's been done with it in a long time. And I kind of would like to bring it back on the end of the business that I do, and maybe with Kid Robot in like a stylized way. So we'll see. We're having discussions right now, but yeah, there's definitely going to be some sharing of IPs and licenses and ideas across the two, but they'll be operated like I control the figures, they control the vinyl and the artistic side of things, and but we're going to play with each other a little bit.
That's cool. I'm all right with all that. I like Kid Robot, so
I love Kid Robot.
Well,
I just don't like they were saying, the blind box feature.
Yeah.
I buy as much as I can to try to get as much of the line as I can before I realize, there's about 5 left, and the chances are very slim that I'm going to find those. So then you got to go to eBay, and they're hundreds of dollars.
You can come to us now, though. We can have them. The factory picks.
That is great. I need a Hans Moleman from the first series.
Just send us a list.
For
He will.
the art, he will. Yeah, before you leave, it'll be. For the art stuff that, for the Dunnies and stuff like that, the Kid Robot does, I almost don't mind the blind box because I kind of feel like I'm aside from supporting Kid Robot, I'm also supporting all the individual artists that have contributed to that line. But for the licensed stuff, when I'm really specifically looking for just something specific, that I hate blind boxes. That's why when they did the Stick of Truth figures, and those you could get the one you wanted. And then with the TMNT figures that they did as well, those were also, you could get blind box versions of them, but then they had carded unblind box versions that were essentially the same figure. I think they glowed in the dark was the only difference. So I guess they tinker with that a little bit. So it's personal preference.
Mm-hmm. David in Ohio has a product question for the NECA Toy guys. David.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm crappy. I'm at work right now, so.
So are we.
Seems like you guys are having a lot more fun than I am. I actually had a question for you. I've been kind of infatuated with a game I've been playing lately, Destiny. Pretty sure you guys have heard of it. Are you guys and maybe considering doing a product line with some of the Guardians or anything like that?
Not doing anything with Destiny. We're doing a lot of stuff with Blizzard right now, which is kind of taking up a lot of our bandwidth, at least on the game side, because they have this big title, Heroes of the Storm, which puts a bunch of their universes under one flagship. StarCraft, Warcraft, Diablo, kind of all in one. So that's got us pretty busy on the gaming side, and we're doing a little bit with Sony. We had some Little Big Planet stuff in the booth, which is new, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the way. What made you get into the Little Big Planet stuff?
Part of it's diversity. Except for Mogwais, we don't have anything that's sort of family friendly or cute right now, which is not a word I use often, but we like to have it just for some of the younger customers and also for the female clientele as well. And we looked at what's been done with Little Big Planet before, and it's always just it's just Sackboy.
Yep.
And while we're doing Sackboy, we're doing him with some of the other game IP skins. So we have Sackboy as Kratos from God of War,
Nice.
or Nathan Drake from Uncharted,
That's really cool.
or Killzone.
Yeah.
Like big Sony games that people who buy those games will buy those toys because they're cool.
And a nice scale too, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
7 inches,
Yeah.
or somewhere in that range, right?
Right,
6, 7?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's about 6, and they're articulated, and they're not expensive either. They're about $12 each. At
Oh, yeah, that's
retail.
not bad at all.
And it's good because also we haven't done any licenses with Sony, so it opens the door maybe for some more stuff. They have some great titles that we'd like to work on. And
Right.
It's like this deal was done through Sony Europe, and now they brought it to Sony US to do distribution rights worldwide. And because of that, we had meetings with Sony US at Toy Fair about, hey, what else? Basically, the woman sat down and said, what would you like to do if you could choose any of our properties? What do you want to make toys of?
Is that the best question you can get?
It's pretty good.
Are you prepared? Are you prepared every time if that pops up?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
Yeah, I always have a list.
Great. Open the book.
So hopefully it'll turn into something else. We have another call this week, but that's a great thing about Toy Fair. They come and see everything and then want you to do more.
Can I go back to Blizzard real quick? Can I go back to Blizzard?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
David, hang on a second.
With you working with Heroes of the Storm now, and that's kind of all encompassing for Blizzard. Are you guys? Is there any talk or consideration for the film that's coming out? I mean, no one's really the mass public has not really seen a lot or anything from the movie, but the potential obviously is there.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Unfortunately, they decided to go with a more mass company for that toy line because it's a film and they think it can go wider or broader.
Okay.
It wasn't entirely Blizzard's decision. There's many factors involved, including the film studio. I think when you compare that toy line to what we're doing, there is absolutely no comparison.
No comparison.
So I look forward to the movie.
I can take a couple guesses off the top of my head, but okay.
Yeah, so I look forward to the movie, and our line is really strong for Heroes of the Storm. And I don't think the toy line for the movie will be quite as strong.
Fair enough.
David, go to NECAonline.com. Check out the stuff they were just talking about there. Sorry, they're not going to be doing Destiny, but who knows what the future holds. I also take it you're a gamer. What platform do you play on?
I have an Xbox One and a PS4.
Okay, I'll give you, do you have Evolve?
I do not.
All right, I'll give you a copy of Evolve on PS4. Thanks to our friends at 2K Games and Turtle Rock Studios. I'm going to put you on hold, all right?
All right, thank you.
No problem, David. Thank you for calling in here. Doug in Florida. Doug, you're on with the NECA Toy guys.
Wow, this is really cool, man. Thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Well, the question is, my son is getting into collecting these figures, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. When I was a kid, we used to play with them, and then we grew up and we realized they have a value, but they're trash. Should I just buy him 2 of everything, or is there a proper way to display them, or should we just leave them in the box and make him stare at them? What should we do?
Play with them. Absolutely open them up and play with them and do it with him. Share in that experience. If you like it enough that you want to buy an extra one, hey, go for it, but enjoy them. You can't enjoy them hanging on a wall, and it's fun to share that experience with your kid. I play with Ninja Turtles with my daughter all the time, and Star Wars Rebels and whatever she's into right now, and just open them up and have fun with them. We put a lot of articulation and accessories and fun little details into them that you will only enjoy if you free them from their blister card or plastic prison.
Gotcha. Very cool. I just don't want him to hate me later in life, but we don't worry about money, so it's just but I like that. I like that you said to play with them. So that's great.
Absolutely.
That's what we really want to do.
Eric, can we give one to this kid's
Do you want
his
to?
son? Yeah, I brought
I didn't
some
know
stuff.
we had giveaways. That's awesome.
I always bring stuff, and I got a soft spot for kids.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because you have all these games to give away. I figured.
Because he'll be like, oh, well, we're just going to stop the show and he's going to take all the toys.
1 for you, 1 for me. 2 for you, 1, 2 for me. All right, Doug, we're going to put you on hold here. Get all his information, phone number, what have you, and that's great. We're going to send that out to Doug in Florida. You guys are very generous. Thank you.
No problem.
I think we have about maybe 5 minutes left in the show here. So, programming note.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to have time to run the Breaking Bad interview. So
Right.
here's what I'm going to do. It will be up on demand later today, along with this episode, speaking to Randy and Chris at NECA Toys. What I will do is there's a replay tomorrow at 8 p.m. for this show on the Opie Radio channel. I'm going to put it into there.
Okay.
So I don't normally like doing that. I don't think I've ever really done that where we had to postpone something. But so many people on the phone here want to talk to these guys, and we just don't have enough show. So tomorrow at 8 p.m., you will hear the interview with Michael McKean and Jonathan Banks. I do apologize, but do check out Better Call Saul on AMC Monday nights at 10 p.m.
You won't regret it.
No, it's very good. And the first 3 episodes are on demand. Definitely go check that out. Let's go to... Why is he calling back? Oh, this guy wants to talk about the Master Chief helmet. Rick in Staten Island. Rick.
Hey, what's up, Eric? Huge fan. I really wish I was hanging out with you guys there, man. You guys, I wish the show was on more often. The helmet, a beautiful job on it.
Thank you.
I was just wondering, production and actually price. Maybe I'm premature. I didn't hear you guys discuss about it. Maybe I tuned in late. But when is it going to be available to purchase, and how much?
Pre-orders are being taken now. I can't give you retailers because it's just not fair for me to single some out, but if you Google, you'll find a number of matches. The suggested retail is around $500, and it is available in 4 sizes depending on how big your melon is, so small, medium, large, or extra large. There's a lot of images. There'll be a video up of it fairly soon, sometime in March. Should ship in June, so you can definitely be out on the road with it this summer.
Awesome. And then also, side note too, I know it's off topic, but did any of you guys check out the new Aquaman, and how do you guys feel about it?
We touched on it.
Yeah, you're going to have to check out the show on demand if you can, but we started the show with that.
I'm sorry, dude. I apologize. I asked the guy screening if you guys did speak about it already, and he said no.
No, it's totally fine. I think we'll just wait and see how it goes. I mean, right now you just have a photo that doesn't look like Aquaman.
At all.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Any of those more Evolve games for Xbox One?
No, we're out of the Xbox One. Do you have a PS4?
Okay. Yeah, I actually do.
Okay, I'll give you the last copy of Evolve for PS4, thanks to our friends at 2K Games and Turtle Rock Studios.
Thank you, Rod. I appreciate it.
No problem, Rick. Thank you for calling, and thank you for listening. Tell 2 friends if you can. He is on line 5 there. Dave in Connecticut has a question about the Kid Robot lines. Dave.
Hey, how you doing? I actually have 2 questions. One, when is the drop going to happen for the Kid Robot Tom Petty?
I don't know.
That's too bad.
Wait, Kid Robot's doing Tom Petty?
I think he's being silly.
If you mean the Simpsons one, the Simpsons one is happening in May. I don't know if Kid Robot is doing anything with Tom Petty, but I would be highly skeptical.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not in Kid Robot's wheelhouse.
The other question I have is, I've seen a lot of smaller art galleries do take like the blank Kid Robots and have artists put Sculpey on them. Do you guys sponsor anything like that, or is that anything that would be of interest to the company?
I know Kid Robot has in the past.
Kid Robot sponsors them. As a matter of fact, maybe a month and a half ago, Kid Robot sponsored one at the Clutter Gallery in upstate New York. And I know a lot of times they'll work with some of the individual galleries too if they're asked to participate. Kid Robot tries to be pretty interactive with the audience. They recognize that these customizers and these guys are using their platform and they're appreciative of it, and they make them for that reason.
Right.
So Kid Robot definitely does. I mean, and if you look online, there's always a gallery show going on somewhere in the U.S. all over the place with platforms. So
they used to have them all at the Kid Robot store there. They would have them like all on display on Spring Street.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and we're talking about doing something with Toy Tokyo and their gallery.
Nice. Yeah, it's a nice space.
Yeah, more towards the fall, like maybe around New York Comic Con time or sometime shortly thereafter. So we might do something with them in October, November, something like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Very cool. Thanks for the time, guys.
All right, thanks, Dave. We appreciate it. You do New York Toy Fair. You also do the actual cons themselves, New York Comic Con. Charles in Massachusetts has a question about, what is it, the video game convention up there?
Yes, it's PAX East. Me and my son are pumped about it. It's a big video game convention, and we're big toy collectors and gamers, and we weren't sure if they were going to be showing up.
I don't think we'll be at PAX East. We've done the one that's always Labor Day, like it's Seattle, I think, right?
Yeah, or Texas?
Yeah, we've done Washington, which is usually over Labor Day weekend. I don't think we'll be at PAX East. I'd been up there a couple of years ago when we were working with what was the studio called? Ken Levine on BioShock Infinite. They were in Quincy, Mass. So we were up in that area quite a bit working on that stuff. I don't think we will be there this spring. We always do the big San Diego Comic-Con and then New York Comic-Con because those are the two big consumer shows. We haven't done as many gaming shows the last couple of years just because we haven't had as many gaming licenses. But obviously we'll be doing BlizzCon from now on, now that we're doing so much with Blizzard, and that's always a huge thing in November usually.
Well, I know you guys keep talking about Blizzard, and I noticed you guys said something about Sony. And I'm 29. I grew up with EverQuest. Are you guys going to be doing anything with EQ Next by any chance? Because you guys do wonderful work.
Oh, thank you. There's definitely not anything planned yet, but it's something I'll certainly look into. I know it has a pretty big following.
Yeah, and your work, you guys do amazing things.
Thanks.
I was kind of hoping that maybe you guys would pull something off.
It's possible. Thank you for the compliments. We'll send you a free toy too.
Charles, we got to run. Are you a PC gamer by any chance?
Yes.
All right. Do you want a copy of Evolve on PC?
Oh, he's getting double
I'd love
whammied.
a copy of Evolve on PC.
All right. I'm going to put you on hold. Charles in Massachusetts gets a copy of Evolve from 2K Games and Turtle Rock Studios. There, no, he
good for Charles.
Yeah, good for him. We're almost out of time here. Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you guys want to talk about, promote?
I mean, the thing I run, the Scalers line. I don't know if you checked them out at Toy Fair or not.
Yeah.
But pretty
Rocket
much.
and Groot, right?
Yeah, I have,
are there two
I
new
have
ones?
a few with me if you want them. Basically, it's a cool way to have your collectible vinyl stylized figures with you all the time. Like, you can put them on your headphones, you could put them on your game cords, anything you can think of. And the cool thing is, like, the licenses we're starting to hit now are really awesome. Like you said, Rocket and Groot. We have Ninja Turtles, which was really awesome because you got to design them based on the cartoon.
Right. The Nickelodeon cartoon or the old school?
The old school, like the real cartoon.
Right. The real cartoon.
You know, the one I grew up with.
Well, you never know nowadays.
The Nick one is the best Turtles ever. Better than any film and better than the old cartoon.
As far as story? Or?
Story, writing, acting, or voice acting, I should say, and then the homages or the humor that is put in there for adults. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Evil Dead, Rat Fink. The show is brilliant. If you're not watching it, you should. It is unbelievably good.
There you go.
I
That's
agree.
quite an
My son
endorsement.
likes it, so we get to watch it together.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the voices are fantastic, too. I'm not crazy about the new Leo, but everyone else is awesome.
Everyone else is spot on. Yeah.
Anything else? Is that it?
I think so. That's what I mean.
We had everything on your new your projections for this year.
The Toy Fair highlights, I think, were covered. We're hosting a screening of 87 Predator this Monday night at Alamo Draft House up in Yonkers.
Nice.
Which is
I hear
a great
such
time.
great things about Alamo Draft House, but I've never got a chance to go to one
it's
actually.
awesome.
But all around the country, if you listen to various podcasts or radio shows, they all rave about going to this place, having a meal, having beer, sitting there and watching the movie. It's the way it should be done.
Yeah, absolutely. We've done a bunch of events with them where we sponsor, we give away toys at it. We set up in the lobby with a whole diorama and display. We did Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, and 3 there. We did Gremlins, RoboCop. We're doing 87 Predator this Monday night with those folks up in Yonkers. So if you're in the New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey area, come on out Monday nights for that. It's going to be a good time.
I may have to go to that.
Come on.
I may have to as well.
Let's carpool.
Oh,
I love
it's a match made in heaven.
NECAonline.com, NECA_toys on Twitter. Chris, what's your Twitter?
At Chris Ramo Art.
And you do, what were those cards that I was talking to you about not too long
I
ago?
actually have one for you.
Oh, Matt, did you see these? He's drawing Star Wars.
It's called Star Wars Masterworks, and pretty much you just draw like Star Wars characters on these cards, and then they get put in the mix, like one every box.
Is it for Topps? Is it
for Topps?
Topps, yeah.
Yeah, this is like the third or fourth line I've done with them, but
nice.
these ones are sick.
If he does say so himself.
Yeah.
Follow him on Instagram. He posts a lot of his stuff on Instagram, too. So.
He's a very good
it's
artist.
Chris Ramo.
Yeah.
I didn't steal that from you, by the way.
Geek Stuff OG for Matt here on the Twitter and the Instagram, and check out his Collect Stuff reviews.
That's right.
And they get retweeted on the Consumer and my stuff as well. Giddles?
I don't have anything to plug.
No chili cook-off? No bacon thing?
I have a meatball cook-off a week from Sunday if anyone wants to come out. I'm the reigning champ.
Listen,
I have to defend my honor here.
If you take my suggestion into consideration, I want partial credit.
All right, I will do that.
I gave him. I don't want to say it over the air because I don't want anybody to steal
We don't
my
want anyone to
ideas.
steal
but
this shit. It's gonna be good.
I gave him some tips.
Okay.
Serious tips.
There we go. All right, so I guess that wraps everything up here. Randy and Chris. Oh, wait, by the way, they have one other person in studio here I just want to talk about real quick. Jesus. Real quick. Another Chris who works for NECA, but I ran into him at a Trader Joe's. We're online to check out, and he's with his family, and he waits till we get right to the register, and he turns around and he just leans in and goes, "Are you E-Rock?" And I got like headphones on. I'm like, yeah. And then he tells me, wait, there you are. You're on 7 there. He tells me who he is. So I immediately text the other Chris. I'm like, do you know this guy? Does he work for you? And he's like, yeah, that's him.
Is he legit? Yeah.
So I told him next time they were coming up, he was more than welcome to come up here.
Well, the lines were so long that day, and my family's just like holding a spot for me before I check out, so you were there with them the whole time, and I'm running around picking up stuff left and right, and then I'm sitting there, I'm looking back, I look at my groceries, I look at you, like...
This got very dramatic real quick.
He has a very dramatic voice.
At Trader Joe's in
See?
Clifton.
Told you.
He was part of the Blizzard panic. I just happened to stop there, and I didn't realize everybody was at Trader Joe's, but he was online just running his ass off trying to get cookie butter and all that other stuff.
Kid loves cookie butter.
Cookie butter is important.
Well, Chris, it was nice to meet you, and thank you for coming in.
Of course,
I do appreciate it. Do you have a Twitter? Does anyone care?
Nothing to show just yet.
Nothing? Okay. So I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Tomorrow will be Michael McKean and Jonathan Banks from Better Call Saul.
Yes.
Monday nights, AMC, 10 p.m. Do check out that show. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I
We're
think
done?
so. I think so.
Show's over. Go in peace. See you later.
And that's all the time we have. Follow Eric on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at eRock Radio. The show should be back next week. Maybe in 2 weeks. Who the hell knows around here anymore?
Before we go, we have to thank the fine people at Loot Crate for once again sponsoring the program.
The program?
The program.
Ooh.
That's how the kids say it.
Is that how the kids say it?
That's because
Yes.
they're
I don't
saying
like
it
the
wrong.
kids. But I love Loot Crate.
Loot Crate is awesome. You get it every month. It's a surprise for adults. Because why can't adults have fun? Why can't adults get presents?
I like presents.
It's that bullshit theory that, once you're an adult or if you have kids or something, no, it's got to be about the kids.
Oh, no.
I'm not really celebrating my birthday. Don't worry about getting me a Christmas present. I don't need it.
When I go out toy shopping for my son, we each get something.
Right. But now when you have a kid, it's 4 because you got to buy 2 to put away and 2 to play with.
No, now you just get Loot Crate, and then everybody gets a little bit of something.
Right, Loot Crate. It's if you're looking for the perfect gift for that geek or person who likes to collect stuff in your life, or you just want to treat yourself to something fun and exciting, like we said, every single month, go to lootcrate.com. That's lootcrate.com/OP. And it's the ultimate monthly service for geeks, gamers, and pop culture fanatics. Sign up today, and for less than $20 a month, Loot Crate will send you a specially themed mystery box with hand-picked apparel. They really pay attention to what they're giving you here. It's not just crap that's laying around the office. They throw it in the box and say, good luck.
As far as you know.
No, it's not. It's fantastic stuff. There's collectibles and licensed gear from all your favorite franchises like Marvel, The Walking Dead, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, much more. What about NECA? Can we get NECA involved with this Loot Crate stuff?
We have been.
We have? Oh, that's awesome. Is there anything coming soon? Or is that all?
No, there should be, actually. We had a meeting with them at Toy Fair about a few things like the chibis and
Nice, yeah.
maybe some alien eggs and face huggers and some stuff like that.
I want a face hugger.
Yeah.
So you need to go get Loot Crate now because this stuff is coming,
That's
people.
right.
Like they just said here, each month's box features a new theme inspired by movies, TV shows, video games, and the fine people at NECA. Working that in there. This month's theme is play, and dedicated to all the tabletop video, board, and card games that you love to play growing up and continue to play. So today, celebrate the boundless adventure, creativity, and excitement that great gaming can bring with this month's Loot Crate. Go to lootcrate.com/OP right now. Sign up, and for a limited time, if you use the promo code OP at checkout, you'll save $3 off any new subscription. You can't beat that. Go to lootcrate.com/OP, lootcrate.com/OP. Use the promo code OP, and that's how you do it. You'll enjoy it, and I can't say enough nice things about the Loot Crate people.
Huzzah.
All right, see you next week, everybody.